Love had always felt effortless between Elena and me. From the moment we met, everything just clicked. Our laughter, our touch, our whispered confessions under the covers. I had never doubted her, never questioned the love we shared. She was my world, my safe place, my everything. Every morning, she would wake me with a kiss, her fingers tracing lazy patterns on my chest as sunlight trickled through the curtains. "Good morning, handsome," she'd whisper, her breath warm against my skin. I'd pull her close, inhaling the familiar scent of lavender and something uniquely Elena. Our marriage felt perfect. She worked from home as a freelance interior designer, filling our house with beauty while I spent long hours at my corporate job. Even when deadlines swallowed my time, she never complained. She always understood. Or so I thought. One evening, as we sat on the couch, her bare feet tucked under her, she mentioned something in passing. "Liam messaged me today." I barely looked up from my laptop. "Liam?" She hesitated. "An ex. From college." That caught my attention. "Oh." She shrugged, swirling her wine glass. "It's nothing. He just said hi, asked how I've been." I told him I was married, obviously. Something about the way she said it made my stomach twist, but I ignored it. After all, I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? "Good," I said, offering a small smile. "What does he want?" Elena laughed lightly. "I don't know. Maybe to catch up. It's been years." I let it go. I didn't want to be the jealous husband, the paranoid one who saw ghosts where none existed. If she said it was nothing, then it was nothing. Or so I convinced myself. Small changes, subtle signs. A few days passed, and things started to feel different. Small, almost imperceptible changes in Elena's behavior. Her phone, which usually sat face up on the table, now remained screen down. She giggled at texts she never shared, her fingers flying across the screen before locking it instantly. Her late-night showers became more frequent, the scent of unfamiliar cologne clinging to her skin afterward. At first, I chalked it up to my own insecurities. Maybe work exhaustion was making me read into things too much. Then came the late-night calls. One night, as I lay in bed, half asleep, I heard her whispering downstairs. I sat up, straining to catch her words. "Yeah. I miss you too. It's been so long." My chest tightened. Elena's voice softened. "No, he's asleep. I just wanted to hear your voice." I held my breath, my mind racing. She wasn't talking to a girlfriend. No woman whispered like that to a friend. My heartbeat pounded in my ears as I lay back, staring at the ceiling. Maybe it was innocent. Maybe I was misinterpreting. But doubt had crept into my mind, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake it. The plan. By the time morning came, I had convinced myself I needed proof before accusing her of anything. So, I planned a surprise. That Friday, I told Elena I had an important meeting across town. "I'll be gone most of the day," I said, kissing her forehead. "Maybe we can do dinner later?" She smiled, but there was something forced about it. "Sure, babe. I'll be here." The moment I stepped out, I didn't head to work. Instead, I parked a few blocks away and waited. My pulse thrummed as I gripped the steering wheel, watching the house like a hawk. Hours passed, and nothing happened. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe. A sleek black car pulled up. My breath caught as I watched a tall man step out. Liam. Even from a distance, I could see the confident way he moved, the way he checked his reflection in the window before walking up to my front door. Elena greeted him with a hug. Not a friendly, casual hug. A lingering one. I clenched my jaw as I watched them step inside. My fingers itched to throw the door open, demand answers, confront her lies. But I needed to be sure. I waited. Minutes turned to hours. No sign of them coming out. No reason for him to still be there. Then I made my move. I stepped out of the car, walked up to my front door, and twisted the knob. It wasn't locked. They weren't expecting me. And that was their first mistake. The door creaked open as I stepped inside, my pulse hammering. The house smelled different, warmer, muskier, carrying a scent that didn't belong to me. I closed the door quietly, heart pounding, ears straining for any sound. Then I heard it. Soft laughter. A man's voice. The living room was just ahead, and as I moved closer, my stomach twisted. I caught a glimpse of them before they noticed me. Elena sat on the couch, her legs tucked under her, her body angled toward him. Liam. He was leaning in, close, too close. His hand rested on the back of the couch, his fingers almost grazing her shoulder. She was smiling. Not the polite, distant smile she gave acquaintances. No. This was the way she used to smile at me. The way she did when we first fell in love. A fire ignited in my chest. I took a step forward, my voice colder than I'd ever heard it. Elena. She flinched. Her head snapped toward me, eyes widening in shock. The color drained from her face. You're home early, she breathed, sitting up straight, as if that could undo what I had just seen. Liam turned lazily, his expression unreadable. He didn't seem nearly as surprised as she was. Clearly, I said, scanning the scene before me. An empty wine glass sat on the table. A half-empty bottle of red rested beside it, our favorite. My stomach clenched. Liam was the first to break the silence. He stood, extending a hand like we were old friends. Hey man, I'm Liam. Just catching up with Elena. Catching up. I ignored his hand, my eyes locked on Elena. How long? Her brows knit together. What do you mean? How long have you been lying to me? She exhaled sharply, crossing her arms. I haven't been lying. I let out a bitter laugh. So you just forgot to mention that you were inviting your ex over? While I was at work. Liam smirked, shoving his hands into his pockets. Relax, dude. It's not what you think. I snapped my gaze to him. And what exactly do I think? He tilted his head, studying me like I was some puzzle he was figuring out. You think something's going on between us. My jaw clenched. Isn't there? Elena stood abruptly, stepping between us. Stop it, both of you. Both of us? I turned to her, disbelief flooding my voice. Are you seriously defending him? I'm not defending anyone, she shot back, frustration lacing her tone. You're blowing this out of proportion. I scoffed. So it's normal for married women to invite their ex-boyfriends over while their husbands are away? She flinched, guilt flashing across her face. I wanted to catch up. Catch up, I repeated, the words tasting like poison. She swallowed hard. I didn't think it was a big deal. Liam let out a low chuckle. Man, you're really worked up over nothing. My fists clenched. He was enjoying this. I took a step closer, lowering my voice. Get out. His smirk faltered slightly. He glanced at Elena, as if waiting for her to protest. She didn't. Fine, Liam said, grabbing his coat. Nice meeting you. The moment the door closed behind him, I turned back to her. How long have you been talking to him? She hesitated. A few weeks. My breath caught. Weeks. She nodded slowly. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd react like this. Like this. My voice rose. Like a husband who just found out his wife has been sneaking around with her ex? It wasn't sneaking, she snapped. I didn't think it mattered. I stared at her, searching for something, remorse, regret, anything. But instead, I saw defiance. You don't think it matters, I repeated slowly, my voice cold. Then answer this, Elena. She swallowed. If I hadn't come home early, would you have told me? Her silence was deafening. Elena's silence hung between us like a guillotine, poised to drop. My stomach twisted, my hands clenched at my sides as I waited for her to say something, anything, that would make this feel less like a betrayal. But she just stood there, silent. Would you have told me? I repeated, my voice lower, colder now. She exhaled, looking away. I don't know. That was all I needed to hear. A bitter laugh escaped me. You don't know. My hands ran through my hair, frustration burning through my veins. So if I hadn't walked in, how long were you planning to keep this little catching up a secret? Elena crossed her arms, her expression defensive. You're making this into something it's not. My jaw tightened. Then tell me what it is, Elena. Because from where I'm standing, it looks an awful lot like you've been sneaking around behind my back. She sighed, rubbing her temples. Liam and I have history, okay? But it's just that, history. I miss talking to him. I miss the way we used to laugh about stupid things, the way he… She stopped abruptly, realizing she had already said too much. The way he what? My voice was barely above a whisper now, but she heard the venom laced within it. She swallowed hard. The way he understood me. A sharp pain shot through my chest. And I don't. Elena hesitated. Just for a second. But that hesitation was enough to drive the knife deeper. I took a step back, shaking my head. Wow. Just wow. It's not like that, she said quickly. You work so much, and sometimes it feels like you're more married to your job than to me. I just wanted… to feel wanted? I cut in, my voice dripping with bitterness. She flinched. I never cheated on you. Maybe not physically, I shot back. But emotionally? You were halfway out the door before I even knew there was a problem. She opened her mouth to respond but closed it again, looking away. Did you ever think, I continued, stepping closer, that maybe if you were feeling this way, you could have talked to me instead of running to him? Her lips pressed into a thin line. It wasn't like that. Then tell me what it was like, Elena, I demanded. Because I can't keep pretending that this, I gestured between us, is the same marriage I thought we had. Tears welled in her eyes, but I wasn't sure if they were from guilt or frustration. I didn't plan for this to happen, she whispered. But it did. Silence. I turned away, trying to gather my thoughts, my emotions. The woman I had built my life with, the one I had trusted above all else, had been seeking comfort in the arms of another man. Whether she had crossed the line physically or not didn't even matter anymore. She had already crossed it in every other way. I need some air, I muttered, heading toward the door. Wait, she said, her voice breaking slightly. Please don't leave like this. I paused but didn't turn around. Why not? You didn't seem to mind when you were the one walking away. And with that, I stepped out into the night, leaving behind the shattered pieces of what I once thought was love. The cold night air hit me like a slap, but it did nothing to numb the storm raging inside. My hands trembled, whether from anger or heartbreak, I couldn't tell. I paced along the sidewalk, trying to steady my breath, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Elena, the woman I loved, the woman I trusted, had been slipping away from me, and I hadn't even noticed. Or maybe I had, but I convinced myself that we were just going through a rough patch. That all marriages had ups and downs. That love, our love, would always be enough. I had been a fool. My phone vibrated in my pocket. A text from her. Please come back inside. Let's talk. I stared at the screen, my thumb hovering over the keyboard. What was there left to say? She had made her choice. Maybe not explicitly, maybe not in words, but in actions. In the way she looked at him. In the way she had hesitated when I asked if I still understood her. I sucked in a breath and turned back toward the house. Not because I wanted to fix things, I wasn't sure if they could be fixed, but because I needed closure. When I stepped inside, Elena was standing in the living room, arms wrapped around herself, eyes red and puffy. She had been crying. Thank you for coming back, she said softly. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Say what you need to say, Elena. She hesitated, then wiped at her eyes. I never wanted to hurt you. That's the thing about betrayal, I said bitterly. It doesn't matter if you wanted to or not. It still hurts. She flinched. I swear, Liam and I never. I don't care, I cut her off. It's not just about whether you slept with him. It's the fact that you turned to him instead of me. That you hid it. That you didn't even think you were doing something wrong. She bit her lip, looking away. I shook my head. I thought we were a team. I thought we were stronger than this. Tears spilled down her cheeks. I was lonely, she admitted. You were always working, always busy. And Liam, He reminded me of who I used to be. You mean who you were before me? She hesitated. That tiny, painful pause again. Maybe, she whispered. The words hit like a final dagger to the chest. I let out a slow breath, my decision becoming clearer with every passing second. I love you, Elena, I said, my voice steady. I always have. But I can't be in a marriage where I have to wonder if I'm enough for you. Her lips parted in shock. Are you saying, I'm done? The words came out stronger than I expected, but they were the truth. I deserve someone who chooses me. Every day. The way I chose you. She sobbed, reaching for me, but I stepped back. No, please, she begged. We can fix this. I can fix this. But I had already spent years trying to fix things alone. I turned toward the door, feeling lighter even as my heart shattered. Goodbye, Elena. And this time I walked away for good.